Most people don't ruin their 70s with one big mistake. It's not a single bad decision. It's not one dramatic failure. It's something far quieter. It's the small habits they repeat every day, the ones that feel harmless, the ones nobody ever warns you about. Habits you don't even question in your 40s and 50s. At that age, everything still works well enough. You can ignore the stiffness. You can skip the walk today. You can say, "I'll deal with it later." And later feels very far away. But here's the uncomfortable truth most people only realize too late. Your 70s are not shaped by what happens then. They're shaped by what you quietly allow now. Every year, millions of older adults say the same sentence. "I didn't think it would matter." They didn't think missing a few checkups would matter. They didn't think letting friendships fade would matter. They didn't think putting themselves last would matter. Until one day, time feels faster. The calendar pages flip quicker. And suddenly, the body doesn't bounce back the way it used to. This is how regret sneaks in. Not loudly, not all at once, but slowly, silently, over decades. And the hardest part? Most of these habits felt completely normal at the time. No warning signs, no alarms, just routines that blended into everyday life. If you're watching this right now, I want you to hear something important. This video is not here to blame you. It's not here to scare you. And it's definitely not here to tell you that it's too late. Because it isn't. In fact, many people in their 60s and even 70s say the same thing. After learning this, I wish someone had told me sooner. But I'm grateful I know now. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the silent habits most people build in their 40s and 50s. Habits that quietly steal comfort, independence, and peace later in life. And more importantly, I'll show you how to stop them now, gently, realistically, and without turning your life upside down. By the end of this video, there's a very high chance you'll recognize at least one habit you're still doing today, not to judge yourself, but to change it while it still makes a difference. So as you watch, don't rush. Don't defend yourself. Just notice what feels familiar, because awareness alone has already helped many people reclaim years they thought were lost. Let's begin. Here's the part most people don't want to hear, but almost everyone recognizes once they do. Regret doesn't come from getting older. Aging itself is not the enemy. Time is not the villain. What creates regret is what goes unchecked while time passes. Most people believe regret comes from big failures, a bad decision, a missed opportunity, one dramatic turning point. But when older adults speak honestly, they often say something very different. They say regret came from the small things they ignored, the habits they repeated quietly, the routines they never stopped to question. Not for a year, not for 5 years, but for decades. Nobody warned us that ordinary days could shape extraordinary outcomes. Nobody said, pay attention to what you repeat. Pay attention to what you postpone. Pay attention to what you tell yourself you'll fix later. So we did what most people do. We kept going. We pushed through tiredness. We accepted discomfort as normal. We told ourselves everyone lives this way. And for a long time, it worked well enough. That's why these habits are so dangerous. They don't hurt immediately. They don't interrupt your life. They quietly blend in. Until one day, something feels off. Your energy doesn't return like it used to. Your world feels smaller. Your patience shorter. Your body slower to respond. And suddenly, time feels different. The weeks move faster. The years feel compressed. And you start wondering where certain parts of your life went. Many people say the hardest part of regret isn't the pain. It's the realization. The realization that no single moment caused it. No single person did it to them. No single year destroyed anything. It was repetition. Small choices. Small neglects. Small delays. Repeated quietly. This is why regret feels so heavy later in life. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And this is also why this moment, right now, matters more than people think. As you listen, don't judge yourself. Don't argue with the idea. Don't push it away. Just ask one gentle question, silently, honestly. Am I still doing this? Not to create guilt, but to create clarity. Because clarity is where change begins. And the truth is, many people don't get this clarity until much later. When options feel limited. When energy feels scarce. When regret feels permanent. But you're hearing it now, and that changes everything. In the next moments, we'll look at the first silent habit, one that almost everyone develops without realizing it, and one that causes more regret after 70 than most people expect. Stay with me. The first silent habit is one almost everyone develops without realizing it. Putting health on later. Not because you don't care, not because you're reckless, but because you still feel okay. You wake up stiff, but it loosens after a while. You get tired faster, but you recover. You notice small aches, but nothing feels serious enough to act on. So you tell yourself the same thing most people do. I'll start walking next month. I'll book the checkup next year. I'll deal with it when it becomes a real problem. And for a long time, that logic seems reasonable. Because life is busy. Because responsibility comes first. Because discomfort becomes familiar. But here's what many people don't realize until much later. The body doesn't decline suddenly. It negotiates quietly. Small warnings are not emergencies. They're invitations. An invitation to maintain what you already have. When those invitations are ignored year after year, something subtle happens. Muscles weaken just enough to affect balance. Joints stiffen just enough to limit confidence. Energy drops just enough to make movement feel optional. And then one day, movement no longer feels optional. It feels risky. This is when people begin to fear falling. This is when independence starts to shrink. This is when simple tasks feel heavy. Not because of age itself, but because of years of postponement. Many older adults say the same thing in hindsight. I didn't think missing small things would add up. They weren't avoiding health. They were delaying it. And delay has a cost. If this sounds familiar, here's the most important thing to hear. You don't need intense workouts. You don't need a gym. You don't need to get in shape. What your body needs is maintenance. Just like a home, a car, or a relationship. Maintenance is small. Maintenance is gentle. Maintenance is consistent. Here's a simple reframe that changes everything. You're not exercising to improve yourself. You're maintaining what already allows you to live freely. One habit, under 10 minutes. It could be a short walk after meals. Gentle stretching when you wake up. Slow balance practice near a chair or wall. Nothing extreme. Nothing exhausting. Just enough to remind your body, every day, I still use you. Because the body keeps what it's asked to keep. If you've ever said, I still feel okay, ask yourself this instead. What am I quietly negotiating away? Strength? Stability? Confidence? The good news is this. The moment you stop postponing, decline slows down. Not dramatically, not overnight, but enough to change how your future feels. In the next habit, we'll talk about something just as quiet and just as powerful. The way our social world slowly shrinks without us noticing. Stay with me. The second silent habit doesn't happen all at once. It happens quietly, between busy seasons of life, between responsibilities, between I'll call them later and time just got away. It's the slow shrinking of your social world. Not because of conflict, not because of anger, but because nobody replaced what slowly faded. Friends move, schedules change, work takes over, energy feels limited, and without realizing it, conversations become shorter, visits become rare, invitations stop coming, not out of rejection, but out of habit. Many people say they didn't notice anything was wrong at first. Life was full, days were busy, silence felt normal, until one quiet moment made it obvious. A free afternoon with no plans, a celebration with no one to call, a difficult day with nobody checking in. That's when the thought appears. When did it get this quiet? Here's what makes this habit especially painful later in life. Loneliness compounds faster after retirement. When work ends, so do many built-in interactions. Casual conversations disappear. Purpose-driven contact fades. And if friendships weren't intentionally maintained before that point, the social world can suddenly feel very small. Isolation doesn't always feel like sadness at first. Sometimes it feels like numbness, or restlessness, or simply feeling unseen. Over time, that isolation increases regret. It weighs on mood. It affects memory. It quietly drains joy. Many older adults say something heartbreaking and honest. I didn't miss friends until I realized no one was calling. Not because they weren't loved, but because connection requires maintenance, just like health. If this sounds familiar, here's the good news. Rebuilding connection does not require energy you don't have. It doesn't require big gatherings. It doesn't require being outgoing. It requires intention, not effort. Start with one simple rule. One reconnection per month. One message. One phone call. One I was thinking of you. That's it. Not to rebuild everything. Just to reopen one door. And then add one low-energy social routine. Something that doesn't depend on motivation. A weekly walk with a neighbor. A regular phone call on the same day. Sitting in a familiar place where faces become familiar. Small, predictable, comfortable. Because connection doesn't grow from grand plans. It grows from repetition. If you've noticed your world getting quieter, don't blame yourself. This habit catches almost everyone. But ask yourself this gently. Who do I wish I heard from more often? Then consider this. They might be thinking the same thing about you. In the next habit, we'll talk about something that affects nearly every part of life. The way routines quietly turn into autopilot, and how that steals meaning without making a sound. Stay with me. The third silent habit is one that rarely feels harmful. In fact, it often feels responsible, efficient, comfortable. It's living on autopilot. The same mornings, the same routines, the same days repeating quietly. You wake up, you do what needs to be done, you get through the day, and nothing is wrong, exactly. Health may be okay, life may be stable. There's no crisis demanding attention, but something subtle begins to fade. Curiosity, the desire to explore, to learn, to try something unfamiliar. Days start blending together. Weeks pass quickly. Months disappear without clear memories attached to them. And this is where many people feel confused later in life. Because when they look back, they don't see disaster. They see emptiness. One of the most common regrets aging adults share isn't about money or mistakes. It's this: where did the time go? Not because time was wasted intentionally, but because it was lived on repeat. When days feel the same, the brain stores fewer memories. When nothing stands out, time feels shorter in hindsight. That's why years on autopilot feel like they vanished. An empty calendar doesn't just mean free time. It often means unmarked time. And unmarked time feels lost. Autopilot isn't laziness. It's a survival skill. When life is demanding, routines protect energy. They reduce decisions. They keep things running. But when autopilot becomes permanent, it quietly steals meaning. Life feels smaller. Joy feels muted. And even good days feel forgettable. Many people don't realize this until later, when they ask themselves, I stayed busy, so why does it feel like I didn't really live? If this feels close to home, here's the most important thing to understand. You don't need a big change. You don't need a new identity. You don't need to overhaul your life. You need a pattern interrupt. One new thing every 30 days. That's it. Not something extreme. Not something expensive. Not something exhausting. Just something new. A new walking route. A new skill, even a small one. A new place to sit and observe life. A new topic to learn about. A new routine that didn't exist before. Novelty wakes the brain up. It stretches time. It creates memories. One new thing turns an ordinary month into a remembered one. This isn't about productivity. It's about presence. Because life doesn't feel full because it's busy. It feels full because it's noticed. Ask yourself this quietly. When was the last time I did something for the first time? If the answer feels distant, that's not a failure. It's an invitation. And the beautiful part? Curiosity doesn't fade with age. It just waits for permission. In the next habit, we'll talk about something even quieter. The conversations we avoid. And the cost of the words we never say. Stay with me. The next silent habit is one most people adopt in the name of peace. Avoiding difficult conversations. Not speaking up. Not setting boundaries. Letting things slide to keep harmony. At first, it feels kind. It feels mature. It feels like the right thing to do. So you stay quiet. You adjust. You carry what bothers you alone. But here's what many people discover much later. Avoided conversations don't disappear. They turn into resentment. Unspoken feelings don't fade. They harden. And over time, silence builds distance. Many older adults say one sentence with deep regret. I wish I had said something. Not to argue, not to fight, but to be honest. Because peace kept now often becomes pain later. Broken family connections, emotional walls, relationships that feel strained but unresolved. Here's an important reframe. It's not peace now or peace later. It's clarity now for peace later. And clarity does not require confrontation. It requires simple, calm honesty. Here are gentle sentence starters that change everything. When this happens, I feel. I don't need things to change completely, but I need to say this. This matters to me, and I wanted you to know. No accusations. No raised voices. No long explanations. Just truth, spoken kindly. Because relationships don't break from honest words. They break from years of silence. If there's something you've been holding back, ask yourself this. Would I regret saying this? or regret never saying it? That answer usually tells you what to do. In the next habit, we'll talk about another quiet mistake, one that leaves many people feeling invisible after retirement. Stay with me. The fifth silent habit often hides behind responsibility. It's defining yourself almost entirely by your work, your job, your role, your productivity. For years, this feels natural. Work gives structure to the day. It gives you a reason to wake up. It gives you recognition. People ask, "What do you do?" And you have an answer. You feel needed. You feel useful. You feel seen. But here's what many people aren't prepared for. Work doesn't last forever. And when it ends, or even slows down, something unexpected can happen. A quiet emptiness. Not because you failed, not because you lacked ambition, but because so much of your identity lived in one place. Many retirees describe the same strange feeling. They're finally free, yet they feel lost. The days are open, the pressure is gone, but the sense of direction disappears. This is where the emotional line becomes painfully true. When the title disappears, many people don't know who they are. It's not about money. It's not about status. It's about purpose. Without a role, some people feel invisible. Without responsibilities, they feel unnecessary. Without deadlines, they wonder if they still matter. And that confusion often turns into regret. I gave everything to work, but I didn't build anything beyond it. Here's the part that matters most. Purpose doesn't retire. It just needs a new shape. And the best time to build that shape is before retirement, or as soon as you recognize the gap. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't need income. It needs meaning. Ask yourself one gentle question. Who benefits from what I know? That's where purpose lives. You can teach, formally or informally. You can mentor someone who needs guidance. You can create stories, skills, ideas, solutions. You can volunteer, not to stay busy, but to feel useful. Even one small role outside of work changes everything. Because purpose isn't about being important. It's about being needed. If your identity has lived mostly in your job, don't judge yourself. That habit was rewarded for decades. But don't let it define the rest of your life. You are more than your title, more than your output, more than your productivity. And the moment you begin building purpose beyond work, retirement stops feeling like an ending. Stay with me. The sixth silent habit is one that many people were never taught to notice. Ignoring mental and emotional fitness. Not intentionally, not carelessly, simply because life kept moving. Stress came and went. Disappointments piled up. Losses were endured and set aside. And instead of being processed, they were carried. Many people were taught to be strong by staying quiet, to move on quickly, to not dwell. So they did. They worked harder, stayed busy, focused outward. But emotions don't disappear when they're ignored. They wait. Unprocessed stress turns into constant tension. Unspoken grief turns into heaviness. Repeated disappointment turns into bitterness. And over time, the mind starts looping. Old conversations replay. Regrets resurface. What-ifs grow louder in quiet moments. This is how anxiety sneaks in. Not dramatically, but persistently. This is how regret deepens. Not because life was bad, but because feelings were never given a place to land. Many older adults say something revealing. I didn't realize how much I was carrying until I finally stopped. Mental and emotional fitness works the same way physical fitness does. If it's never exercised, it stiffens. If it's never maintained, it weakens. And just like the body, it doesn't need intensity. It needs attention. Here's a gentle practice that takes just 5 minutes a day. No pressure, no rules, no right or wrong. 5 minutes to check in. You might write a few lines in a journal, not to sound wise, but to be honest. You might sit quietly in prayer, not asking for answers, just releasing weight. You might take a slow walk. No phone, no destination, just presence. The goal isn't to fix anything. The goal is to feel what's already there. Before it turns into something heavier, ask yourself one simple question. What am I carrying that I've never named? Naming doesn't make it worse. It makes it lighter. Because emotions don't need solutions first. They need space. And the beautiful truth is this. People who tend to their inner world age differently. They're calmer, clearer, less trapped by regret. Not because life treated them better, but because they didn't carry everything alone. In the next part, we'll talk about something hopeful. Why it's not too late to change any of this. And how small shifts can still reshape the years ahead. Stay with me. If there's one message I want you to hear clearly, it's this. It's not too late. Not too late to feel better. Not too late to reconnect. Not too late to live with more peace. Many people believe regret is permanent, that once time has passed, the story is written. But that belief is one of the biggest. This is the part nobody talks about enough. Regret fades when action begins. Not big action, not perfect action, just movement.
If you've recognized yourself in any of these habits,
That's not a reason to feel discouraged. It's a sign of clarity. And clarity is powerful. It means you're paying attention. It means you still care. It means your future is still being shaped. Ask yourself this gently. What is one small thing I can do differently, starting this week? Not tomorrow, not someday. This week. One habit to soften. One routine to adjust. One conversation to begin. One moment to notice instead of rush through. Small steps don't feel impressive, but they add up quietly, the same way habits once did. Aging doesn't remove your ability to grow. It refines it. It teaches you what matters. It strips away what doesn't. And when change comes from wisdom instead of urgency, it's often more meaningful. If you're watching this, you're not behind. You're right on time. Because the best years aren't always the earliest ones. They're often the ones where life is finally lived with intention. In the next moments, I'll show you a simple way to turn everything you've heard into action, without pressure, without overwhelm, and without trying to change everything at once. Stay with me. You've heard a lot so far, and this is the moment where many people feel overwhelmed, like they need to fix everything at once. You don't. Real change doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing less, consistently. So here's a simple reset plan you can return to anytime. 3 steps. No pressure, no perfection, just direction. Step 1. Name one habit you recognized. Not all of them, just one. The one that felt familiar. The one that made you pause. The one that quietly said, "That's me." Naming it isn't about blame. It's about clarity. Because a habit you can name is a habit you can change. You might even say it out loud, softly, honestly. This is the habit I want to work on. That alone is progress. Step 2. Replace it with a small alternative. Not a big plan. Not a dramatic promise. Just something smaller. If the habit was postponing movement, the alternative might be a 5-minute walk. If the habit was isolation, the alternative might be one message this week. If the habit was silence, the alternative might be one honest sentence. Small replacements work because they don't fight your life. They fit into it. Remember, habits don't disappear. They're replaced. Step 3. Repeat daily, without perfection. This is the most important step. Not every day will feel motivated. Not every attempt will feel successful. That's normal. Consistency isn't about doing it right. It's about doing it again. Miss a day? Resume the next one. Feel discouraged? Keep the habit small. Because repetition is what turns effort into ease. Gentle emphasis. Imagine your future not shaped by pressure, but by quiet consistency. A checklist that doesn't judge you. It just reminds you. One habit, one small action, repeated gently. That's how regret slowly loses its grip. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. You don't have to change your whole life to change how your life feels. You just have to begin. And beginning doesn't require confidence. It creates it. In the final moments, I'll ask you one simple question. A question that might help someone else just as much as it helps you. Stay with me. Now that we've explored 6 silent habits that quietly shape life after 70, I want you to pause for a moment and reflect. Which one of these habits felt most familiar to you? Which one? Days blending together, leaving time feeling lost, or avoiding those difficult conversations that, over the years, quietly build regret. Maybe you saw yourself in defining your identity only by work, and the emptiness that comes after retirement, or even ignoring your emotional and mental fitness, carrying stress and grief silently. Take a quiet moment and notice which one stands out the most. There's no judgment here. You're not alone. In fact, acknowledging it is the first step toward change. The moment you see a habit clearly, you gain the power to adjust it. Awareness alone begins to shift your future. So here's what I want you to do. In the comments below, type the number of the habit that surprised you the most, 1 through 6. 1. Putting health on later. 2. Shrinking your social world. 3. Living on autopilot. 4. Avoiding difficult conversations. 5. Defining yourself only by work. 6. Ignoring mental and emotional fitness. Even if you recognize more than one, Just pick the one that feels most urgent or real to you right now. Why this matters? When you share it, you're not just reflecting for yourself. You're joining a community of people who are learning, growing, and reclaiming their lives after 60. You'll see others responding. You'll see that these habits are common, and that can be incredibly reassuring. Change doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in awareness, in action, and in community. So don't overthink it. Just pick the number that resonates most. Type it. Hit enter. You've already taken the first step towards shifting your life. And remember, noticing a habit is not admitting failure. It's claiming the ability to live better today and tomorrow. Your future self will thank you for this moment of honesty. If there's one thing to remember from today's video, it's this: small habits quietly shape the rest of your life. And the good news? It's never too late to shift them. That's exactly what we focus on here at Senior Sense. Gentle, science-backed habits that help you age with strength, clarity, and peace. Every video is designed to give you practical, realistic steps, nothing extreme, nothing overwhelming. Just habits you can start today that your future self will thank you for. So if you want to keep learning how to prevent regret, maintain independence, and feel confident in your body and mind as the years go by, subscribe to Senior Sense and join our community of people who are taking control of their later years. One small, meaningful habit at a time. And don't stop there. Share this video with someone in their 40s or 50s, a friend, a loved one, a family member, before these habits quietly take hold and regret sets in. Because awareness is powerful, and action is even more powerful. Together, we can build a future where aging doesn't feel like loss, but like freedom. Your journey toward a stronger, clearer, and more peaceful life starts now. Subscribe, like, share, and let's take it one gentle step at a time.